I bet you I'd kick your ass at puck, Gibbles. Welcome to the Season 83 SMJHL Draft Lottery. As you can see here, we have our teams and the appropriate number of balls associated with it. Darren Helm. All right. Defensively responsible forward. I can take that. That's good. That's good. So, with the most balls, we have the Vancouver Whalers via the Anchorage Armada. It's an interesting wrinkle. The Whalers are going to get the top odds in the draft, despite not being the original owners of the pick. So, some savvy work by the Whalers front office to acquire that draft selection. Next up, we have the Nevada Battleborn, who have 20 balls. The Colorado Raptors have 18 with their natural selection. San Diego with 13 in number 4. Number 5 is my personal favorite, the Newfoundland Berserkers, because I'm on the Berserkers, with 9 balls. Number 6, Detroit with 7. Number 7, Quebec City Citadels with 5. And then finally, via the Great Falls Grizzlies, the Ottawa Highlanders have 3 balls. So, I'm going to click this wonderful button, and we're going to see who we have here. And if this is your first draft lottery to tune into, I will have you know that we are going to start from the bottom. And keep in mind that this is not the order that these teams will be selecting in. This is simply a contest to establish who has the first overall selection. So, with that said, if your team is currently last in the standings and they win the lottery, you can look at the standings and that will tell you who has the top picks. However, if your team wins the lottery and they are ahead of the last team in the standings, they will go ahead and jump into first place, and that last place team will be picking second overall, and that would be Vancouver via Anchorage. So, before we get started, we've got a wonderful 4-Star Cup sim coming up here. Game 3 and 4. So we want to be cognizant of the time. But I'm not going to start hitting buttons here on the screen until I get about 10 people saying balls in the chat. So can we get some balls in the chat? This is a good point. Here we go. We get some NFL music on now. I have 5 balls in the chat. 6 balls. I did not type that. That was not me. I need 4 more balls, and then we'll get going. Oh, simmer. Okay, I get it. I'm not the simmer tonight. I was the simmer last night. All right, I'll take 6. That's a good place to start. Oh, there's 7. Excellent. All right, the first team that will not be selecting first overall in the draft is Ottawa, who had the worst odds. So unfortunately, Ottawa, you did not miracle your way into a first overall selection. Ottawa only had 3 balls in the lottery, so this makes sense. Next up, the next team that will not be picking first overall. The Detroit Falcons, who had 7 balls. They had the 3rd worst odds of winning the lottery. So no tremendous surprises here. The next team that will not be selecting first overall is the San Diego Title. Sorry, I know I keep changing my screen real quick. The Title had 13 balls. So we still have the Quebec City Citadels, who had the 2nd worst odds with 5 balls, and the Newfoundland Berserkers with the 4th worst odds still in the mix. And next up, the next team that will not be receiving the first overall selection is the Vancouver Whalers via the Anchorage Armada. They had the number one chance. So they will not be picking 1 overall. Vancouver will not have the first overall selection. It's going to be one of the Nevada Battleborn, the Colorado Raptors, the Newfoundland Berserkers, or the Quebec City Citadels. That's a big one right there. Next up, the next team that will not be picking first overall. The Nevada Battleborn, who had the 2nd best odds. We're going to have a heck of an upset here to win the first overall selection. We still have the Colorado Raptors. We have the Newfoundland Berserkers. And the Quebec City Citadels alive. Regardless, that's the 3rd best odds, the 5th best odds, and the 7th best odds that are still in play here. The next team that will not be selecting first overall is the Newfoundland Berserkers. They had the 5th best odds with 9 balls. That leaves us with the Colorado Raptors and the Quebec City Citadels in the mix for first overall. And I'm going to need approximately 7 balls in the chat for me to go ahead and click this next one. There's 2 balls. 3 balls. 4 balls. 5 balls. 6 balls. 7 balls! We have... Oh, no. The Gibble said no balls. That's good. That's good enough for me, though. -1 balls. All right. So I'm not going to hit pick 2 at this point in the lottery. What we're going to do is I'm going to hover my wonderful little mouse cursor right here. And when it's time, I'm going to click it. And this time it's not to find out who's not going to be picking, but it's to find out who will indeed be picking first overall, and who will be the ultimate loser? So will it be the Raptors? Will we be going prehistoric for the first overall selection? Or will the Citadels, will they pull off a fantasy upset here in the draft lottery? Because they haven't had enough good things going for them lately. I think it's time. And the winner of the #1 overall selection, the first overall selection in the Season 83 SMJHL entry draft is the Quebec City Citadels. Congratulations, Quebec City, on your first overall selection. And for those of you that tuned in, thank you. I hope you had a good time, and we'll catch you next time.